5, 4, 3, 2.
Hi, good evening. I'm Gary Inniss, the host of RockTopia. You've seen that the show is not on the air right now, but we're going to be getting back to you pretty soon. With that, we just need to get organized with some sponsors and so on. But to keep you going, we've got a special arrangement, a special promotion, and that's courtesy of Mr. Michael Roberts, our producer of RockTopia. And we have a big bash. It's coming up at the Sidewalk Cafe, so I'm going to be doing an interview with some of the members of the band, and it's called Hybrid Storm. So we're going to really be taking you by storm. The guys are from Brazil, and we convinced them, or we had to pursue them to actually get them on stage. Well, one of them is going to be making a special guest appearance, just to do a little short bit, as Mr. Charles Spelling, former band leader, of course, Swine. So all you rock people, I know you know Charles and what he's done for rock music over here, and you know RockTopia is all about promoting rock, heavy metal music in the country. As a matter of fact, we're into all forms of music, but nobody's doing anything for rock, so we gotta get it done, right? So we're gonna be doing a small interview, a little thing, asking the guys about what it's like in Brazil, what to expect of the show and so on, and we're gonna start off with Raul, who is our guitarist for the show, Raul the Doll Staunton from Pearls to Swine as well. Yeah, so good evening, Raul.
Good evening.
How are you doing, man?
Fine, man.
Alright. It's good to be back home. Yeah, I miss you guys, man. It's like about 2 years already, and the time is really,
Time really flies. Man.
Yeah, it really does fly. Alright, how would you describe your move to Brazil? From here.
Well, for me, my move to Brazil was for me, it's very productive, and I think that's the word I would use for it, productive. And also it was challenging, but out of everything, it was productive for me, because I really moved here to continue with my music.
Yeah, that's
like that. And as you guys know, that I did something over there.
Yeah, I heard a bit of that recording.
Right, so for me, I think it's productive.
Yeah.
And very challenging.
Very challenging and productive. Well, Guyana is very challenging, but very challenging. Let's stay right there, right? All right. Any funny little tidbits you want to tell us about? I heard some things coming up about your first journey there, and how you went through. I think it took you a number of days to get there. As you are share some of that. That's a little thing, for the fans.
Okay, it took about 6 days.
That's by land
6
and
days.
6 days.
Land, boat, water, and everything.
Turtleback, everything.
Everything.
Korean, everything.
Anything that was possible at that time.
Yeah.
But it took 6 days. Actually.
Took 6 days to get there.
And
well worth it.
Well, really, it's worth it, because for me, I got to see a lot of things, and a lot of challenging things as well happened.
Yeah.
And when I look back at everything that happened, I think it really worked it.
It helped too.
It helped
refine your character too,
exactly.
or even shape your life in some way, right? Yeah, man, I can relate to that because I did a bit of traveling in the interior as well, or local interior. All right, what's the music scene like in Brazil?
Well,
rock and rock we talking about.
Well, done by my side, because I guess
you're in Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo, right?
Yeah, I should have mentioned.
But it's very big. It's very big. You have the support, from the public, from the sponsors, especially the sponsors.
Oh, that's
They have a lot of people sponsoring, rock over there. They have a lot of bands. They have a lot of clubs as well.
Yeah.
So
the club scene is real jumping, real happening.
Real jumping.
Yeah, I mean you could go to a show like every week. You got local bands.
Actually, every night.
Foreign band.
Every night they have local bands.
Oh.
Right, and every year they have international bands coming there.
Yeah, like some of the big name bands, like who visited last year, around this summer, which is like for you guys is later down in the year. That's the Southern Hemisphere. You had like big acts coming in.
Yeah, we had. But let me see if I can. The one that I can remember was we had Korn actually.
Korn.
We had Korn.
Yeah.
We had we even had Coldplay.
Coldplay is a pretty big band now.
We had some other European bands.
Okay, so the European bands coming on, everybody goes to Brazil.
Everybody goes to Brazil.
I heard Sao Paulo is described as the New York of South America. Would that be accurate?
It is.
Wow. So we got some pretty big things happening right down in our hemisphere. It's funny, but we'd hope that some of that should trickle over to Guyana. I mean, you got big bands coming down there, right at our neighbors and so on. And a note, Ron mentioned something, the club scene is jumping and things are happening because of sponsorship. And I think, you know, people need to take note. Things can happen once there's, you know, proper support and proper sponsorship. Yeah, we can get some production here, you know, and we could probably be just as big eventually on the scene. Brazil has some really, really big bands, but they have a large population, so they have to sustain those bands right here. Yeah, we're not that fortunate. We gotta sell our music out and hope that our local people will buy music as well. You know? What do you think Guyana needs to make it big time in the music scene? I mean, other than what I've seen, it needs, I pretty much covered that just now.
Well,
Sponsorship.
As we know, as we all know, and this will always be something.
Yeah.
You know, sponsorship, because you have the bands.
Yeah.
You know, the bands are trying on their own to do whatever they can do for themselves.
Yeah.
But you know, as it is,
It's difficult.
It's difficult.
It's difficult.
It's difficult for them to do it alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So we need the sponsorship. That's very important.
All right. Well, you know, you're hearing it from somebody who's seen what's happening abroad and has been a part, the integral part of the music scene here in Guyana on the rock music scene. So he has a, you know, certain insights that I necessarily would not have. You know, I've just seen this part of it. So we're gonna move on. We'll get back to Raw a little bit later and ask him to, you know, give us some more, you know, details on what it's like there in Brazil. We're gonna deal with our producer, the guy who is hosting the show, the big show coming up at Sidewalk Cafe, Mr. Michael Roberts. And Michael is gonna tell us something about the show, about sponsorship and you know, about the venue, show time, and what to expect. You know, any special attractions and so on. So, Mikey, good night and welcome
Yes,
to.
The sponsor is the Music Source, and we also gonna have feature 3 bands in the show, which in Hybrid Storm is a project band, and we're gonna have Evolution and Buddhist alongside it. The project band is made up of Royal Stanton, Gary Inniss, and Tommy on bass, Andre on guitar, and Roger Gordon on drums. And there's the project band. And you have a lot of stuff happening. Charles is going to be making a guest appearance, maybe with Buddhas, and maybe on Hybrid Star. I don't know yet, but this is a surprise. Yeah. And yeah, the starting time is 8 o'clock. The first band is going to be on at 8 o'clock. Hope everybody gets up there.
Yeah, rain.
Starting time 8 o'clock. Rain or
shine.
We should have you guys think.
8 o'clock show.
And at least the most important thing is the sponsor, which is the Music Source. They're bringing all the different equipments now. Anybody interested in ordering any equipment and stuff, they just could contact Andre. Later on, we're going to give you more details. And the show, 2 people is going to get numbers and stuff that they could get on to these guys. And that's it.
Yeah, well, there's Mikey bringing it to us, telling us what's happening, and you know, it wasn't difficult to really get it organized. I mean, you know, we've not been active for a while in the music scene.
It was very difficult because right now the show been within like 2 weeks and a half we actually put together everything, because we was waiting on Charles and confirmation the date they were going to be in. We're trying to see what's going to happen. And I think we're getting through us. But other than that, the show is at Sidewalk Cafe, and I just want everybody to come out and support the show. And hope they enjoy it.
Alright. So there we have it from the man, you know, behind all the work, and Mr. Roberts, who is telling us about some of the, you know, some of the intricacies of putting a show together. We actually had to wait for confirmation whether Charles and Raul would have been across, because we really wanted to make it a special show. You know, we got musicians here to, you know, to pull off a show and stuff, but we wanted something special. So we're going to attract a lot of us, the Swine fans who used to be there when the band was around. And, you know, we got Brutus in the show, so all Brutus fans, you guys going to be coming out. Also, Evolution is going to be in. Right, so Hybrid Storm is a composite band, 2 guys from Pulse, Swine, 1 from Brutus, and well, Tommy, who's going to be playing bass, is, you know, from Stone Blind. As another rock band who's been doing some stuff too. Alright, I'm going to be asking Charles a few questions about this, you know, what it's like and so in Brazil. You're in for the holidays. What's it like?
The holidays.
Yeah, well, here.
The holidays are great. Over the last 2 years, I've seen a lot of improvements, right, with the scene, right? I just hope that you guys can keep it going.
Me also too.
Hope that people can keep it going too, right? Because you really need to have a lot more rock music going in, and I'm glad to see that there's been a lot of progress on this.
Yeah.
So, based on that, the holidays have been quite eye-opening.
You see how we think?
Pleasurable.
You see how we thinking here? Because the music scene has improved, it's improved Charles's holiday stay here. And that's
Exactly.
really nice. I mean, think about it, when we were in high school, that's where we met.
Yeah.
You know, we couldn't get no rap music on the radio waves. They had nothing like no heavy metal playing on there.
3 o'clock in the morning only.
To catch like night tracks and stuff like that, right? And you really into it. You know, you loved it so much, Charles, and all of the guys here. Because other than that, we won't be here still trying to fight up and make something happen for maybe our future generations down here. You know, you're married, and today is your anniversary.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
And I hope you convey, my feelings to your wife.
Okay.
Any kids? What was it like? I mean, you're a family man.
Yeah.
Tell us something though. You know, I'm still single, so.
Yeah. It's keep your eyes open.
Keep your eyes open.
Keep your eyes open and your mouth shut. Basically, that's it.
That's some good advice.
Right? It's great. No, it's a great. Having a family is it's a wonderful experience. You cannot. There's no difference with it. There's nothing that you can really describe it as. You just have to go through it. Who feels it knows it.
Yeah. Well,
it's great.
It's everything for the family, and it's not about yourself anymore, right?
Exactly.
It's everything else is for the family. And
exactly.
It takes a lot of the selfishness off of you. I mean, when you actually love your family, you know, your wife and your kid more than yourself, because that's what you really do. You sacrifice, you know, for everything. So
or be sacrificed. You sacrifice or be sacrificed. Simple.
Interesting. All right. Well, Rod is in Sao Paulo, and that's big city. And he was telling us a bit of what's happening there in the music scene.
Right.
You know. So what is it like in Manaus? Because it's more.
Manaus also has a very active scene. It's sort of like Trinidad. How Trinidad is now. You have about 40 to 50 bands.
Peak time.
Yeah, mulling around.
Yeah.
Right. You have your weekend gigs. Right. If you're fortunate, you'll have 1 or 2 international acts coming in. Right. There are a lot of national acts that are always going to Manaus, and that makes a big difference, right? That's what the scene is about there, in Manaus. You have 40 bands, and it's still kicking. And that's what I think we need here, too. We can be just like Manaus in a matter of a few years. We just need to have the people.
Some words of encouragement,
yeah.
The viewers out there, you know, if you support the scene, you know it's going to be big. It could be big. I mean,
go to all the shows, even if you hate the band. You can hate the band for everything, but you still go.
You have something thriving here, and then one form of music makes it here.
Everybody makes it.
Yeah, you get a lot of national attention, and that's what you really need, a lot of national attention. Now, take for instance when we won our first world title boxing, and how, you know, quickly after 2 other titles, you know, followed it. Yeah, because people realize, you know, Guyanese have talent. You know, they can do things, and that really makes a difference. When one person makes a breakthrough, it helps
everybody.
The entire music scene. The reggae is going to come, the jazz is going to come, everything else is going to come. So I'm saying support each and every one of, you know, the music things happening here, and you're going to have something real big happening. All right, music scene in Guyana. Any improvement from time? I mean, you said that before, but how would you really rate it? Certain things that you've seen now that you didn't see them.
Home studios.
Home studios.
Home studios are there. So about 15 to 20 years of frustration is getting thrown into the garbage now because of those home studios, right? And I think that's a great move, right? You've got the technology, you've got the talent. You just got to get it together and buy every single thing that there is. Buy your local bands, doesn't matter who it is, just buy it, keep these guys going, you know. That's all you need to do, and go to all the shows, right? The studio is there, the talent is there, everything is there. It's now up to you, the people, to say yes and support these guys.
Yeah.
It's all there.
So
That's the great secret.
looking
everywhere-
forward to this one.
Everywhere you go, these people support their own people, right? You go to Trinidad, they support their own people. You go to Brazil, they support their own people. We do the same. We're going to be big too,
Support for
bigger.
us too. I mean, you know, we keep it well balanced because we did a show in Trinidad and the support was tremendous. Although we were down in San Fernando and that was back in 1999, but people came out to see the, you know, the big bands. All right, we've come to the end of our interview. Just a few questions to keep you guys posted on what's happening here and the scene, and we're going to be closing with Michael telling us a little bit more about the sponsors and so on. You know, some exciting things that would happen at the show, and you know, saying thanks for all the help that we've gotten to get this far.
Yeah, so I'd just like to thank the Music Source for sponsoring the show, and all the guys, Ral and Charles, Gary, and everybody else that's making this possible, because without them, it would not be Hybrid Storm, and it was a dream for me because I always wanted to put together something with the guys them that is most closest to me, and I hope you guys just turn up and enjoy the show. And so at Sidewalk Cafe, showtime, 8 o'clock, and just be there.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
So put all that
Yeah, the boom boom.
background music. You want to say back something, you know?
Well, let's hear it and you guys.